Todd Rosenbluth, head of research at VettaFi. How are you?
It's great to be with you, John. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I've got questions and I hear you've got answers. I'm going to start off with what was interesting in ETF flows last month. I know the headlines were all about crypto, but where was the money going?
Yeah, the headlines were about crypto. We also saw really strong inflows into equity ETFs and some of the heavyweights tied to the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. But I'm going to be boring and tell you what was most exciting to me was that 90% of the fixed income flows went into government bond ETFs. Ultra short, hide under the mattress ETFs like SHV, and BIL. Those are from iShares and State Street, respectively. Investors hunkered down. They wanted to ride out whatever volatility was happening in the marketplace, and they turned to government bond ETFs.
Once again, Todd, sometimes headlines do not dictate bottom lines, especially in portfolios. Another question that I have for you, what is one ETF that launched, say, in the last month that has you excited? And tell me why it's got you excited.
Yeah, so a common theme we're going to have on this is going to be about fixed income ETFs, which are really having strong demand. I'm excited that Capital Group expanded their lineup of actively managed ETFs. 5 new products came to market in September. One of them is a core bond fund, the Capital Group Core Bond ETF, CGCB. Now, core bond funds, don't we have enough of those, John? Yes, but this is the Capital Group that's behind American funds, behind a bond fund of America. This is a different style ETF. This is an ETF, not a mutual fund. It's run independent of that bond fund of America. But boy, Capital Group has that active management expertise. I'm so excited that they continue to build out their lineup.
Yeah, and they certainly have a lot of momentum to that lineup. Todd, you have a good sense of the financial advisor sentiment. Last I counted, you did over 100 webcasts with FAs this year. I bet that's probably reaching 25 to 30,000 financial advisors. So when you think about all that connectivity that you have with the financial advisor audience, what's a compelling trend that you're noticing? Like, what's the FA sentiment right now?
So what's interesting is, again, sticking with that fixed income theme, is that we always hear about, and I was talking about it, of active management versus index or passive management within the ETF structure, that as well as the mutual fund structure. We're seeing it's active and passive. So we recently held a survey during a webcast that I got to moderate, and we asked, how are advisors getting core bond fund exposure? And almost 60% chose active and passive strategies. This is what they want. They're blending Barclays Ag or Bloomberg Barclays Ag strategies with active management, or they're combining an index-based approach using a different index and adding on active management. There's a room for both active and index-based products, and I'm so excited that advisors are communicating that to us at VettaFi, which we're communicating as well to the asset managers.
Very cool. Very cool. Certainly speaks to the runway that's out there in the fixed income ETF space.
Yeah, John, it certainly does.
Wide.
Yeah, I would. John, I think what it also speaks to is this is what we're trying to respond to. We at VettaFi, as you know, have an income symposium taking place on October 27th. We're going to have active managers. We're going to talk about some index ETFs. We're going to bring all of those thought leaders together to help communicate with advisors how they position towards the end of the fourth quarter, as well as into 2024. So I'm excited that I'm also moderating that. I guess you can add that to my tally. Tom Lydon and I are co-moderating that event.
Can't stop, won't stop. All right, Todd, one more question for you. What's ahead for next month? Let's say November.
Yeah, well, my eyes are on whether or not we get a spot Bitcoin ETF, or we get closer towards having one, perhaps into 2024. We're going to get more tea leaves coming out from the SEC in the coming weeks. In fact, by the time people listen to this, we might know more information, but it's something I'm certainly mindful of. Now, you touched on earlier that we have futures-based ETFs. We've seen new products come to market. It's still a very small part of the ETF pie. So I'm also excited to see if we see a buildup in the equity ETF space. November, December tends to be pretty heavy months, typically for equity flows. I wonder if we're going to see that again, given the expected equity market volatility.
I guess time will tell. Todd, thank you for the time. You're one of our VettaFi voices. You got your finger on the pulse of not only what ETFs are happening right now, but what's coming next. But most importantly, what's top of mind for the financial advisors. So thank you, Todd, for being one of our VettaFi voices, always keeping your finger on the pulse. I'm gonna throw out a fun question for you. As a VettaFi voice, if all of you, you, Dave Nottig, Tom Lydon, Laura, if you guys started a cover band, would you call it VV Top?
Well, some of us don't have the hair to be able to be a part of something like that. So I guess if it's going to be a knockoff and you can have people who look like me, I've got a guitar behind me. I don't know how to play it. I hope somebody wants to take the time to teach me. But yeah, I'll be doing the Milli Vanilli version of playing in that band.
Sounds good. All right, Todd, until next time, I'll see you around the office. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.